Hey guys, welcome to another session of Loadouts. Today's loadout is about the Venomous Vines of Death Elite. One of the hardest trials I've ever done. I think it would be equivalent to as hassle as the first Marlboro when the first Marlboro was released, the global exclusive one. It took me a couple tries. It took me 3 attempts on a test run to know that I can beat it. And then when I tried to stream it and even record the video, I kept on dying. There's a huge RNG aspect. So here's the debrief on this battle and what you would need. With my team, I went with 2 tanks. If you have a single target beefy 7-star tank like Wilhelm or later Mercenary Ramza, you might be able to do it with just 1 tank, which would definitely free up more unit slots. So I had to go with what I could at with this build. I'm very proud of this defeat because it took me a lot of thinking to be able to get to where I am. Obviously, you do see that I have 2 7-star units here, so it's not like I can complete this with 6-star. And I would imagine that I wouldn't be able to even if I could use 6-star units. I don't think this is a 6-star meta trial. Definitely a 7-star or at least half 7-star. These are the espers on them, and I'm going to go through why and the equipment. So this is my Awakened Rain. Let's check out his stats here. So one thing to know is that it's good that your tank, whoever is going to be your provoke tank, has fire and ice resistance 150% to be like extra secure on your win and reduce damage. But as much as you can. Don't even bother buffing it, buffing the elementals. I find that that's not useful, so I went with 150% fire resist for rain, and it's a single target magic attack. That's why Wilhelm would be really good if he's beefed up, because he can provoke the magic attack and still take a little damage while covering AoE physical, which is something that you have to do. And those Wilhelms don't have to be evasion, but I had to go with evasion. Let's see here. So yeah, 70% ice, which is what I could do, like the best I could do with rain here with the gear. Full status ailment protection is what I would recommend, especially the nasty one. So the nasty status ailments to avoid are most likely going to be sleep, paralyzed, confused, and stone. Secondary importance would be blind and silence, depending on who's being affected by it. I mean, if it's a mage, you don't want to be silenced, right? Poison and disease. Just make sure they're on like sort of on your support units, and you should be fine if you don't have enough ribbons or Fina's hats to go around. You need a single target death resist as well with your provoke tank. So what I did with Rain here, safety bit for that single target death resist, Crimson Saber for as much HP as possible. For those of you who do have Awakened Rain, he does get HP and MP 30% additional for himself when you equip it to him, which is awesome. And then 15% HP 710, giving him another 32%, so that gives him 62% HP passive with this saber. It was a really lucky item world run. SQ-chan is Ramza's STMR, but you could go with the Torturous Trio. Impervious Shield gives you a 50 defense, 50 spirit, all elemental resistance if you're going to go with this strategy. 15% HP is probably the benefit from this shield itself. And then Hairpin of Purity, of course, for more spirit and also status ailment protection. What you want to do is have as much spirit as possible. There's a lot of tanking is required in your magic tanks. And Ozetta armor is for that reason. I don't have Wilhelm's STMR. Jake's Pirate Ring for more LB and also LB fill and LB per turn. Also 25% HP. For Rain here, Magic Sanctuary, we're gonna go with 2 of them, and this is why my resistance is so high. And it has a 15% spirit as well per, so that's a 30% spirit. It's really good. Protector of Lapis, so he could get his own trust ability, and good LB fill, which I needed a lot, and spirit and HP, of course, and Thirst for Survival for that extra spirit and HP. Now, Sakura was an interesting one. So I was talking originally to Mortrix about my trial attempt. On my practice attempt, I used a Zargoboth, and I did pretty good, but it still got wiped. And the reason is because I didn't have enough magic damage. So Great Marlboro has 2000 defense and I think 200 spirit, whereas the Mother Marlboro on phase 2 is flipped. So you kind of want to go with both magic and physical damage dealers, and you should be fine. And now this is the gear. I mean, everything else is pretty self-explanatory. It's just really high magic, as high as possible. And I had Necropolis here. This is a trial reward from Vindimetrix, the 10-man trials. 30% magical and physical damage to these species, which Marlboro is plant, so this came in handy for magic plant killer. Quintessence for dual wield, and Dark Bond and Rod Mastery, of course. And Nirvana for Fina here with dual wielding, and this is for LB Fill, of course, auto limit. Prodigy Goggles for LB Fill. Bosch's uniform to prevent some status ailment status ailment protection, I mean. And only blind, poison, and disease is susceptible, which is okay because she had a Pure White Blessing, which recovered all the HP dealt from the poison itself. So the only thing was the debuff, or the weakness to disease, 10% reduction in all your stats. Holy Wand, as much spirit as possible and as much HP when I can pack it. So Rider's Instinct gives a 20% HP, but also LB fill per turn. Tomb Raider, HP and LB fill per turn. Moonmaker, 30% HP and boost 200% LB fill rate every time she dies, and that happened a lot. So it was really good to get her LB up. My hero here went with a Flaming Blade Agni, even though it wasn't even a really good one. As you can see, it's all HP. It didn't really help in this battle. He was either wiped or just not. So it doesn't really matter. What you want to go with is at least a full status ailment protection, so I went with Discernment. Plant Killer Plus and Plant Killer is really important on your physical damage dealers in phase 2, because you want to kill Mother Marlboro ASAP. And so ending up with a 1834 attack. So my friend unit was a PMA that helped me defeat it. Dude, I'm gonna shout out to PMA here. I used so many heroes, all of them failed due to RNG, not because they were not well geared, but PMA again is the one that gets the spotlight. He beat it again with me. I would definitely recommend going both plant killers and reducing some attack. If you have, like, let's say a large sword mastery, go with max plant killers to kill that mother ASAP. This is my warrior light, full evasion, of course, with all this gear, and Genji shield for that single target death I was talking about. He ended up being a provoke tank on the second phase, and Rain was a provoke tank on the first phase. And he also has discernment, prevents all status ailments, which is really important. And quick assault, true spirit of freedom was just enough to get him to exactly 100%. Now, Lakshmi on Warrior of Light, because Warrior of Light's provoke, Warrior of Light's breaks, Warrior of Light's cover are all 3 turns, which gives him a lot of off turns. So whenever he could, I could use Lakshmi. Evoke, you gotta evoke 2 Espers for the mission anyways. Evoke Lakshmi to full heal the party, and also this Lakshmi has leveled for Charm Resist. Now I did get charmed, and but I actually technically didn't use it to its effectiveness. I did get charmed, but I had it on. I would definitely recommend it. Mother Marlboro can cause charm, single target death, and also berserk, whereas I think and stop, I think, and Great Marlboro, which is the father, could inflict single target death, berserk, and stop. So make sure you're dealing with those things. As you see, Ifrit here with Plant Killer and Plant Killer Plus leveled for Hyo, and so Hyo had 250%, I think. Plant Killer 225%. Shiva on Fina was just because my Shiva is leveled up with stat reflection, so she has the highest spirit other than Carbuncle. Carbuncle needed to be on Rain, and Rain couldn't get affected by another, because Shiva gives a 50% ice, but also reduces fire by 50%, so Rain would have lost a bit on the fire. And so Carbuncle was overall better because my Carbuncle has a stat reflection as well. So we need a base, really high base spirit, fire and ice resistance with death immunity. It's really crazy. Sakura had Odin on for Finger Snap, for a quick Finger Snap. We needed that to dispel Awakened Rain's Berserk when that happened. Anyways, this is a really tough battle. Again, I would definitely say that feel free to skip this one until you get like a 7-star Trans Terra or you know, other really powerful damaging units. Anyways, I think that's it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys check out the trial video if you haven't. And if you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.